Good morning and welcome to Positive Talk with Kari. Thank you so much for joining me on this Tuesday after a holiday weekend. I hope you all had a great weekend and that your weather was beautiful so that you can enjoy the outdoors. I know there's a lot going on in our nation as far as weather is concerned. We have fires that are going on out in the West, and we've got some extreme weathers. For example, I just spoke with a friend of mine who is in the Colorado area. They're going to be getting snow. It's kind of crazy, but this is what happens. This is what happens. This is Mother Nature talking to us and telling us that we need to take care of our earth. We need to protect our earth, and we need to really be aware of what we do day in and day out with the products that we use, with materials that we use, just everything. So it's really important to think about how we are, what are we doing to help our earth and our environment? Because we're experiencing some global warming, and it is happening faster and faster. So definitely recycle, definitely use products or things that you can reuse, like reusable bags. Use things like not an actual coffee filter or the Keurips. Use the reusable filters, things like that to help the environment. We really need to be more conscious of that. So, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Well, this weekend, I'm living in the Dallas area right now, and we had a beautiful weekend. We really did. We had a beautiful weekend. It was a little bit cooler than it has been, so that was nice. But not too cold. I mean, it was warm and great, and we had a little bit of humidity on some days, but it was really pleasant. My husband and I were able to go out and do a little bit of hiking and walking through some of the parks, and there's a reserve that's close to where we live that we were able to go to. It was pleasant. It was really nice. It wasn't where we're out there like sweating and humidity is really, really high. It was really great. We had to get back because there was a thunderstorm warning that was coming through, which hit and came out in no time. So it was really not that bad. And then on oh my gosh, I gotta think because it's been a long weekend. On Sunday, we spent some time. We went and had some brunch at a really great place, local restaurant up the street. We're able to enjoy that, and then able to enjoy our backyard and just really enjoy the weather. So it was nice. I hope that you all had a really great weekend and that you were able to also enjoy your weekend. So let me know, what did you guys do this weekend? What did you do? What was fun? What was exciting? What was maybe just relaxing and you just didn't do anything? I mean, I love those moments too, when you can just veg out, basically, and just relax and just not think of anything. I love those moments. So this morning, actually this week, I have put together a series on self-love. I want to go through different segments of self-love because I think that there's a misunderstanding that self-love is a selfish thing, and in reality it's not. We need to love who we are, which helps us to be confident, which helps us to be happy, because then we can go out into life, and either through our job or through our personal life, we can then make others happy. Being happy is contagious. And I'm so thankful that it is. It's just like laughter is contagious. It's like yawning. It's contagious. It can be so amazing how just one person with their attitude and their the way they talk, the way that they interact with people, it can affect so many. So why not be happy? Why not be happy with who you are as a person? It's a great time to do some self-reflection on who you want to be, and who are you? Not just who you want to be, but who are you? What who have you been able to evolve into? Let's look at it that way. This time in your life, this stage in your life, this chapter in your life. So we're going to go into it. This morning, we're just going to touch real briefly. I entitled You Are Beautiful. And then we're going to go into self-love as an action. And we're going to go through 7 steps of self-love. And then I have a segment on, we're going to do what is self-love and why is it important? I like that one. I really, really like that one. And then I didn't print out the last one, but that is going to be great because we're going to start Tuesday and we're going to end on Friday, and we're going to talk about self-love and the different things that, some tips on how to help you to go through the steps of self-love and feeling good about who you are. So we're going to go through that. But before I get started, 3 things that you are thankful for. So 3 things I'm thankful for this morning. I am thankful for the sense of touch. I started thinking about it, and I've been in the process of scheduling and coordinating and getting things ready for the holidays. Now that we live in Texas and the majority of our family is on the West Coast, either in California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, so they're on the West Coast, we now have to make plans in advance to, fly out there, where we're going to put the dogs, where we're going to stay, all that stuff. So I've been making plans. But in doing that, I started thinking about the holidays. Because you're like, Kari, what does this have to do with touch? Think about the holidays. If you ask my kids, what is one tradition or something that happens around the holidays every year? And one of them, I bet you anything, one of them will say, well, Mom burns herself cooking. And I do. And it's something simple as, I'm trying to get everything going and coordinated. I got stuff in the stove, stuff in the oven. I got this over here, and I, am quick to reach into the oven to grab something. I may have mittens on, I may not. I may, hit the top part of my hand on the top part of the oven. I've done some pretty incredible burns. I've actually have scars now from burns. And when the weather gets really cold, sometimes my hands in certain areas start to hurt and ache. So making memories. But I started thinking about it. So also when I curl my hair and I accidentally, burn the tip of my fingers, how so sensitive the tips of your fingers are. And then I started thinking about all the different nerve endings and all the different, senses that we have. It's pretty incredible. So I love the sense of touch because I love to touch silk. I love to touch fluffy, furry things, soft things, smooth surfaces. I started thinking about all these different things, and it's like when I'm cuddling with my puppy dogs, and I have one Westie who is a little bit wirier, more terrier-like, and then my other Westie, she is soft and very fluffy. And it seems like the males in the Westie breed are a little bit, have that wiry kind of terrier. Um, and because of, the male Westies that I've been around and seen and had, they have had that wiry. But the females are very soft, and their fur is just so fluffy and beautiful. You just want to sit there and rub it. So I started thinking about touch, and if I didn't have a sense of touch, what would that be like? Kind of strange. It would be kind of strange. Really wouldn't know cold from hot. Wouldn't know rough from smooth. All these different things. So I'm thankful for it, because it really helps to, you can close your eyes and you can use your sense of touch to really identify things around you. And I think of, people who are blind, and they use their sense of smell, they use their sense of touch, they use their sense of taste, and it heightens those senses, so they can really tell a lot of things around them, which I think is so incredible. It's so incredible. So I'm thankful for my sense of touch. The second thing I'm thankful for this morning are animals. Animals are incredible. And God did an amazing thing when he created animals, because animals can sense danger. They can sense love. They can sense safe areas. They can sense bad. They can sense good. It's amazing. And I think about this, and every time I'm around my dogs, and it's like, oh, okay, you guys are so cool, because you know when I'm in a bad mood or I'm not feeling well. But then you also know when I'm in a good mood and I'm in kind of a playful mood. Let's play with your toys. They sense that. It's pretty amazing. For animals who can't talk, they have their own language, but we can't understand them. And I am sure there's so much going on up here when you see them sitting there and staring at you, or a dog when you mention their name and they, tilt their head like, what? I just love that. But animals are incredible. And being able to see, the birds, listening to the birds, seeing the squirrels, listening to the squirrels chatter and chit chat and talk, even like insects and bugs and reptiles and snakes. When we went out and did our nature walk, we came across quite a few bugs. I actually had this, I don't even know what it was. It looked like a mixture of like a beetle and like a butterfly or moth, but it was like this big. It was huge. Of course, with the wings, it was huge. And we were walking, and it hit me right in the chest, and I was like, oh my gosh. And it kind of stuck right here in my my shirt, and I'm fluffing it away, and it falls to the ground, and I'm looking at it, and it just sits there for a while, and you can see its little like antlers going, because it's so big, you can see like so much detail on it, and the wings were beautiful. And then it flew away, and I was like, wow, those are pretty cool. Scared me. It scared me. I said a few words when it hit me because it scared me. But when I saw what it was and I got to enjoy seeing it and the beauty of it, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But at first, yeah, I wasn't happy. But there's things like that. So there's so many cool things in this life. There was an article about an elephant. I believe it was in a Pakistan zoo or something like that. But it was being released after years and years and years of captivity. And, this poor thing was just suffering from loneliness and sad. And when they released it into the wild, it like got this new energy, this new vibrant life. And it was so cool to see. You know, I saw another video, elephants again, of this baby elephant. And I'm sure you've all seen this one. I think it's in a zoo. I actually think it's at the Wild Animal Park in San Diego, or they call it the Safari Park now, which is it's northern San Diego County, east in Escondido area. Anyway, there was this baby elephant, and the way that the safari park or a wild animal park is set up is it's very much set up like their natural habitat. So it's acres and acres and acres. It's not like a zoo where they're in cages and they're captured. No, it's acres and acres. So they get to roam, and I mean, it's just like being in the African safari. The great thing was about it is that so there's mom and dad and probably some other elephants off in the distance, some bigger ones, and there was this little bitty baby who was kind of, you know, walking around, having a good old time, and it saw this flock of birds that was sitting on the ground and getting some water from the stream. And you can see him, he put his head down, and then he just started running towards it, and the birds flew up, and he went around in a circle and came back, and then he did it again, and it was just so cute. He was chasing the birds. It was like a little baby, an innocent little baby. So animals are great. Absolutely love animals. And the third thing that I am thankful for today, I'm thankful for my family. I miss my family a lot. You know, when we moved out here almost 4 years ago, you know, we did it to get away from a lot of things that are going on, you know, in California, and help us to kind of prepare for retirement someday, and, you know, things like that. And I miss my family. I miss my family a lot. I mean, I enjoy our beautiful home. I enjoy being able to go out, you know, to the lakes and stuff around here, but I did this once before. I moved to Idaho, and I enjoyed it for like the first year, and then I missed home. I missed home. And now, not so much missing, I mean, I miss things about California, absolutely. I miss things about San Diego, but I miss my family more. I really do. And I am excited that, you know, Thanksgiving we're going to go and visit them and get to see them. I'm so excited that we're going to do that. But I miss them a lot. So family is a third thing this morning that I am thankful for. Very, very thankful for them. I don't know what I would do without them. I really don't. We may not get along all the time. We may not agree on everything. But we love each other. No matter what. No matter what. And I love that about it. I love that about my family. So those are the three things I'm thankful for. Sense of touch, animals, and my family. So what are you thankful for this morning? I'm also thankful for this cup of coffee, which, by the way, my husband did brew. Thank you, Ben. We had a nice little adventure. We went to the market, and we decided to try something different, which is very unusual for my husband to want to try something different. So I was excited. We went down this coffee aisle, and the smell of coffee is just, oh, I love it. And he found this coffee, and it's called Jazzy Java, I think is the name of it. But it's really good. It's really, really good. It's got a hint of like Kahlua, a little hint of rum, and coffee grounds, and it's really, I mean, it's good. It smells good. It tastes good. It's really, I like it a lot. So thank you, Ben, for picking it out. And see, trying new things can be fun. It can be a lot of fun. So let's get into today's message. So thank you again for joining me. This week I am doing a series on self-love. And like I mentioned before, I think that a lot of people look at self-love as being selfish. And so they tend to block that and focus on other people. But we need to be happy with who we are. We need to love who we are so that we can love others. If we don't truly love who we are, the love that we are giving others is not complete and sometimes can be hard to do. So let's get into this. The first episode, we're going to talk about you are beautiful. So many of us do not take the time to notice or acknowledge how beautiful we are as humans. We may be great lovers of beauty. We may be great at seeing beauty in other people, places, and things all around us. So see, we are good at seeing it, but it's hard sometimes to look here. It's really hard. As I mentioned in another episode, we are our worst critics. We tend to beat ourselves up more than anybody else. We get into our head and we start to overanalyze things. We start to, think of the what ifs. And then we start getting down on ourselves. And that's not good. That is not good. So some of us feel that it is vain, like I mentioned, to consider our appearance too much. Or we may find that when we look at ourselves, all we see is imperfections. That's what I mean. We are such critics of ourselves. We are who we are. God made us who we are for a reason. We are the result of our family, of our mom and dad and their genetics. That's the physical. Everybody is beautiful in their own way. Often we come to the mirror with expectations and preconceived notions about beauty that blind us from seeing ourselves clearly. There's so much in society that tells us what is beautiful, tells us how we should look, tells us, oh, your nose is not perfect. You need to change that. This is the perfect nose. This is what it needs to look like. Or your ears stick out. You need to have those changed. It's not you. It's not you. So as a result, we miss the beauty that is closest to us. The beauty that we are. Sometimes we find our beauty in a shallow way, noticing how well we are conforming to social norms. By failing to see the deeper beauty that shines out from within and will continue to shine regardless how we measure up to society's idea. We need to really step away from all that society is telling us. Because, like I mentioned, God made us for a reason. We have a purpose on this earth. Everybody has worth. Everybody is important. You look the way you do for a reason. You're beautiful. No matter what you think, you are beautiful. I used to watch that show, Botched. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's about these two plastic surgeons in Beverly Hills and how they have these patients that come in that have gotten multiple surgeries. And unfortunately, the previous surgeries have not been done very well and it's caused problems, or it's not exactly the way they wanted it to look. And I saw this one where this lady comes in and she's had, gosh, I can't remember how many surgeries, just tons and tons and tons of surgeries. She's spent thousands and thousands of dollars on surgeries to look perfect. And I love this episode because the doctors looked at her and said, "We can't help you. You are trying to seek a perfection that you will never get. That look that you think is so perfect is not you. And no doctor can get you that perfect look." And I love the fact that they actually turned somebody down and said, "No, we're not going to do this." And started thinking about it, and their words are so true. You have an idea of what you think perfect looks like. But what is that based on? It's based off of magazines. It's based off of celebrities. It's based off of models. It's based off of people telling you over time and what is beautiful, and what you're attracted to. And then we start to build this idea of what perfect is. And I love the fact that they said no doctor, no one is going to be able to get you that perfect look that's in your mind. Because it's not you. You are perfect the way you are. Your body functions great the way it is. No matter if you have, maybe your cheeks are, too low, too high, your ears are, sticking out a little bit, your nose you think is too big. You are built the way you are for a reason. You need to understand that God has a purpose for everything that He does, of course, and He created you the way He did for a reason. And we need to love the fact that He took that time and effort and thought into creating you for who you are. Creating you for who you are. So if you can cut through all of these obstacles and simply appreciate how beautiful we are, we free up so much energy. Think about all that time and energy that you spend on trying to look what you think is perfect. It's funny, I woke up the other morning and I didn't put any makeup on. I think I just, slightly brushed my hair, but I didn't curl it. I didn't do anything. It was just, my natural straight hair. And I started to look at myself and I thought, okay, Kari, 47 years old. You don't look exactly the way you did when you were in your 20s or in your teens, but you do look very much the same. Yeah, I have a few more wrinkles, a little bit of sagging here and there. But you know what? You are beautiful, even without makeup. And it was kind of hard for me to say that. It really was. Because being in the beauty industry, there is a level of expectations and of how you look. There is. There's an underlining. But what I've noticed is that if you have the confidence and you have the power to be able to say, I am beautiful how I am. I am. It's amazing how that attracts people to want to understand how you're able to accept yourself the way you are. It's amazing. So as I mentioned, to cut through all these obstacles and to simply appreciate how beautiful we are, it frees up energy. And we also become less dependent upon opinions and feedback from others, since we become our own greatest admirers. And again, this is not selfish. This is good to have self-love. This is good to like who you are. Many of us know that after a great yoga practice or exercise, and maybe a deep meditation or a moment of quiet for yourself, we are more able to see how beautiful we are. Isn't that true? When we take that time to focus on ourselves, maybe it's through stretching, yoga, meditation, exercise, a walk, or just quiet time with ourselves, we realize that, yeah, we are beautiful. This is because we have released some of our baggage, thus unburdening ourselves and summoning forth the spirit that dwells within us. So it helps us to really bring forth that. So it is a heated combination of a divine spirit and the human body that conveys beauty more accurately than anything else. So really that's a lot of fluff words, but really what it is it gives us time to really appreciate us. It gives us that time. So that's one reason why a lot of people really stress the fact that they think that, yoga is so important and it's really been helpful, or meditation's been helpful, prayer, just being able to have quiet time. It's not so much the act of doing it, the words and all of that, but it's the moment. I saw a meme and it had, I think it was a Dalai Lama, and he was talking about meditation. And someone asked, what do you get from meditation? And he said, nothing. But I'll tell you what I don't get. I don't get fear. I don't get angry. I don't get anxiety. I don't get depression. It releases that. Same with prayer. I notice when I am in a deep prayer with God, I don't feel any of this. I don't feel anxiety. I don't feel depression. I don't feel fear. I don't feel any of that. I feel peaceful. I feel happy. So to keep ourselves in touch with our own beauty, we can surround ourselves with images that reflect our beauty back to us. Photos of a relative or a child who has our eyes. Images of teachers who embody our spirit. Or self-portraits that capture our essence in a way that allows us to see ourselves new. The best way to keep ourselves in touch with our own beauty is to keep looking deeply into our soul and opening our eyes to the human being we see in the mirror every day. I think about this. There are photos that I have where when I look at those photos, and typically they're photos of me with somebody else. So they're my kids or my husband. But when I look at those photos, I see true happiness. I think about, I've got a photo, I love this photo, It was at my mom's place. Um, and we called it the cottage. It was a 5-acre beautiful home in the hills of Oroville, California, and the house was like a cottage. It was really cute. It was just like a Thomas Kincaid. Anyway, there's a picture of my oldest daughter holding my younger daughter. I think, gosh, they were young, not real young, but they were probably, I think Megan was like 8 or 9, so Mandy was in her early teens, and then Michael's in between. But it was so Megan and then Amanda. Megan was sitting on Mandy's lap, and Mandy's sitting in the seat. Michael's standing behind her, and or no, I'm standing there, and then Michael is behind me, and we're all kind of hugging, and we're staring at the picture. I love that photo. I love it. I was so happy. I don't remember the last time I've had all 3 of my kids together like that. And we had so much fun. We had so much fun. The kids took the ride-along tractor and went around. My brother had a mini little dune buggy that they took on a course. We just got to experience just sitting outside and having a cup of coffee in the morning with my mom under the trees and just talking, laughing, and playing games and just doing fun stuff. That was such a good trip. Such a good trip. And the great thing is that I have a photograph that, to me, when I look at that photograph, it captures that entire visit. And I love it. And if you look at that photo and you look at my face, I was 100% happy. 100% happy. And it's so good to see. It's amazing. Think about this too. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you frown or you cry, you don't think that you look very good. When you look at the mirror and you smile, and it could just be a mouth smile, not a teeth smile, you tend to look prettier to yourself. So smile at yourself. Smile, because you're beautiful. You are so beautiful. I was an inside sales manager for years, a long time ago. And something that I used to do for each of my sales reps, because I was noticing that their voices over the phone, some of them were having a hard time focusing and trying to be positive and happy and, in a good mood when they got a client that was not always that pleasant. So what I did was I bought them these little mirrors, and I had these mirrors, and they were propped right either above their phone or above their computer in their cubicle. And I did a meeting on the power of a smile. And I asked them, they were all at their desks, and I said, okay, I want you to do an exercise. I want you to look at the person across from you, and I want you to have a conversation about, I don't remember what it was something. Okay. I want you to turn around. I want you to look at the mirror. It's hard to look in the mirror at yourself and not smile. It's really hard. You may not start out as a smile, but you'll end up with a smile. So I said, look at the mirror, give yourself a smile. Keep that smile, turn around, have a conversation. How do you feel? And we did it a couple times. And we talked about, different things in the conversations. And it was amazing when the light bulb started going off. And they started realizing, oh, you're right. So I said, I have this mirror in your cubicle area for you when you are on the phone. One of the things that's so hard when you're on a phone call, it's hard to see the person that you're talking to. So, like for me, I can have a conversation, I can try to visualize it, and that's great. But when I'm concentrating so much on trying to visualize that person, I tend to not be present in the conversation. So if I stare at myself in the mirror and have a conversation, I have a little bit of an easier time concentrating on the words that are being present in that conversation. So we did that, and I think we did that for like, it was a couple of weeks. I had them do it, and then I brought them back together. I was like, okay, how are the mirrors going? What do you guys think? And some of them were very honest in saying, at first I was a little like, oh, I don't want to be staring at myself all day, or, I don't know if I like this. But now I realize, yes, I do like this, because when I get excited, when I have a smile, when my facial expressions start to get really positive, my voice gets very positive, and I have that over the phone so that my client's hearing it. So it's amazing that we do like to see our reflection. We do. We need to stop being so critical of our reflection and realize that we are beautiful and that we have a purpose. So being able to do that, like I mentioned here, that maybe it's surrounding yourself with images that are positive and make you happy. I like colors. Colors and flowers make me happy. And my office is set up so that I have flowers around me, and I have images of flowers, and I have colors behind me. I'm going to show you one of my pictures of the flowers that I have. There it is. That one. That makes me happy. I love that. It's a picture for those on Facebook, because you can't see it. I will take it down really quickly so I can show it to you. But I almost lost my Instagram. But this is the picture I was talking about. It's a picture that my daughter made for me, my daughter Megan, and they're flowers, but they're colors. And it's so pretty. I look at this and it makes me happy. And throughout the day, I find myself, because I have it over here off to the right, and I find myself as I'm talking on the phone, or if I'm on a Zoom call, I'll look over it once in a while and I'll get a smile on my face, because it makes me happy. So surround yourself with images that make you happy and that make you smile. It'll make you feel better. It will help your day. And, I think you'll be amazed at how you'll start to really like who you are. Going through the process of self-reflecting is difficult. But if we go into it with 100% open mind, it's a little bit easier to go through the steps. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. You are important. You are important. You are smart. You are smart. It's one reason why a lot of people believe in affirmations. Some people think that, no, affirmations are powerful if you honestly believe in what you're saying. I think of the movie The Help, and how she was talking to that little girl, and she would say, You are smart, you are kind, and you are important. That little bit impacted that little girl. I see videos of parents who are videoing their kids, walking to school or getting up in the morning or getting ready and getting their hair done and saying affirmations. I love it. I love it. These impressionable little kids are going to use that their entire life. And they're going to have a way of, when their mindset starts to slip or they start to feel upset or the world is not being so nice to them, they can go back to these affirmations and they can start saying them. And it's going to help them and remind them of self-love. So affirmations are great. They really are. And you don't need a lot. You really don't. 3 of them, 1 of them, 10 of them. Just start using them and start remembering how you feel when you say them. Don't worry about what anyone else thinks. Don't worry about what anyone else says. You are you, and you are beautiful. So I am going to leave the daily message there. Tomorrow, we are going to get into self-love is an action. And we are going to start talking about self-love. But before I go, I just want to read the description of what self-love is. So self-love, defined as love of self or regard for one's own happiness or advantage, has been a basic human necessity and as a moral flaw akin to vanity and selfishness. It can be self-love has adopted a more positive consecration through pride parades, so different things that people do, self-respect movement, self-love protest, the hippie era, the new age feminist movement, as well as the increase in mental health awareness that promotes self-love as intrinsic to self-help and self-groups working to prevent substance abuse and suicide. So self-love. So self-love has been taken and it's been adopted into all of these different areas to really help people with how they feel about themselves and to be able to press forward even during hard times. So again, tomorrow we're going to go into self-love as an action. It's not a state of feeling good. Self-love is an action. So we'll dive into that. I would love to hear your thoughts about this and your comments about it. What are you doing to help yourself to accept self-love? What are some of the things that you do to help yourself with that? Please share. I would love to hear. My Jazzy Java. Every time I take a drink of it, I always think of that now. All right. Well, thanks again for joining me on Positive Talk with Kari. I hope that this was positive and helpful and made you happy and made you smile. I love doing these. I love coming on here and being able to talk with you and bring some, good things into your day that I know can bring a smile and I know can bring happiness to your mind and help you through your day. So I did want to share one last thing. I I've shared this before, but I'm a firm believer in this, so I wanted to share it. Do you ever get those moments where your energy starts to slip during the day? Maybe you are, you had a really late night, you're working, you maybe got caught up on a Netflix series and watched it, to too late, and you need that extra little boost of energy. Caffeine, maybe not doing it. Or maybe it is doing it, but it's giving you a little bit of heartburn. Sometimes that could happen. I have a natural, healthy way to be able to give you that extra boost of energy without that sugar or caffeine crash and that feeling in your chest, like your heart's just beating out. It doesn't do any of that. So it's this cute little stick from Arbonne. It is called their Fizz Energy Sticks. This one that I'm holding is a ginseng energy stick. It is a strawberry flavor. It is absolutely yummy. It tastes like a strawberry Jolly Rancher. And what I recommend is, so you use this little stick, it's a little powdery thing. You put it in water, but I also recommend put it on ice because it's really good when it's cold. And you stir it up, and then you can either take it all down at once or you can drink it over a period of time. You will be amazed that after the couple sips of this drink, you will start to feel your energy. It has tons of ginseng in it, has tons of green tea. It has, so it's a natural caffeine versus artificial. Also, it has a lot of vitamin B. The number one B vitamin in here is B12. B12 is absolutely amazing. It helps with your mind function, but it also helps with your energy, and B12 has helped with appetite. So that's another thing that I can do. But because of its mixture, the way it is in here, it's not an appetite suppressant, but it is it's another way of getting the vitamin into your system to help you. But B12 is so important for us. We've got to keep up our B12s for our mind function and for our health. So super important. But they have all kinds of flavors. I got some new ones. This one is a blood orange flavor. And this one is a green apple. It's a green apple. So these are amazing. Absolutely love these fizz sticks. If you want to know more about them or want to get them, please contact me. I can definitely get them for you. But I love that, and it's helped me out so much. Before this year, because of all the pandemic and everything, and travel hasn't been as much, but previous years I was traveling 80, sometimes 90% of the time, all the time. And it was in the go constantly. Well, I noticed that one thing I was doing was I wasn't eating right. Okay. And I was using artificial drinks and artificial things to help with my energy. So then what I started to do is I started to realize, okay, I'm going to cut those out, and I'm going to start to take the B12 tablets, and I just stick them under my tongue and let them dissolve. And that helped me. And it was great. I'm like, oh, this is really great. I love it. So I thought, B12. So then a friend of mine started introducing me to Arbonne Fizz Sticks, and I'm like, whoa, okay, this is it. This has the good combination of everything that I need, that is good for me, that is healthy, it's not harmful, it has none of the bad, and it's simple and easy as a drink, just something that I can mix into a drink. I love it, absolutely. So I started traveling with them, and it helped me tremendously. I would use them during the day when I was in the field visiting clients, or if I was in the field with one of my sales reps, and I would use it to keep my energy going. And I would use it during long meetings and be able to use it with water during long meetings. It helped me so much. And I kid you not, I have gone through so many meetings where it was between like 1:30 and 2:30. Within that like 2 o'clock hour, you could just see everyone around the table, around the room, just kind of go, oh. You just get, oh. And you're like, oh my gosh, okay, it's that 2 o'clock wall right after lunch. People are getting tired. We've been here since 8 a.m. or 9 or whatever. And it's PowerPoint, PowerPoint, PowerPoint. Yeah, okay. And the emotions that are going around the room too because of the discussions that we're having. So I started taking these fizz drinks. And people were asking me, well, how are you keeping up your energy? Here, let me give you one. They started realizing it too. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing stuff. It tastes good. Great. But also, I'm noticing that, yes, it is helping my energy. It really, really works. So, Arbonne has these amazing fizz sticks. I highly recommend them. If you want yours, they come in a pack of 30. So, if you do them once a day, that's 30-day supply. But I can get you hooked up with some of these. They have some really great flavors: pomegranate, citrus, strawberry. Those are the ones that they currently have. They do have from time to time green apple, blood orange. They had a watermelon flavor at one time. So they do try to come up with some new ones. But I can get you hooked up with these. I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be a game changer for you. It was a game changer for me. So try your fizz sticks, everybody. You need them. All right. So that is my episode today. I wasn't able to get into a lot about Color Proof today, which is a company that I work for. We are a hair care and styling company that believe in natural, clean ingredients. And we also believe in giving back to the environment. So we are really trying to clean up our footprint, our carbon copy footprint on this earth, to be able to help the oceans and the environment, to be able to help us moving forward. So tomorrow I'll get into more of that, and I'll share with you some of the products that we have that are amazing, my loves, and I want to share them with you. So I want to thank you for joining me this morning on Positive Talk with Kari. I hope this was very helpful and putting a little bit of a smile on your face and bringing a little bit of joy to your life. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, we're going to go into more about self-love, and we are going to talk about self-love is action, not a state of feeling good. We're going to dive into that and talk more about it. So join me tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central to talk about self-love is not an action. Thanks again. Have a blessed day. Stay safe, be kind, and love one another. We'll talk to you all tomorrow. Thanks again.